Hello everyone, Mark with the Grimtastic Baits here again. I am back into messing with the plastic. I've got another person that I work with that is heading to Canada to do some pike fishing, and he's needing some baits. So I figured, what a better canvas to use than the 5.6 inch Epic Prey bait. That is going to be what we'll be working with. My plans are 4 different colors, but I'm only going to be showing 2 because I don't want to bore you with 2 of the other ones because, like plain white, and then there's a silver minnow I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is the fun ones, which are Firetiger and Perch, and we will be airbrushing these. Now, did I get started ahead of you? Maybe a little bit. This is some leftover chartreuse I had, and we're going to use that, and we are going to use the 24 karat flake. I'm going to be using, we'll go about a quarter. That seems like a lot, but you know what? The effect that this has when you do a Firetiger pattern is unreal. And you're probably wondering why I'm adding that first. Because it just is better than dumping it on top of the hot plastic and having it shoot powder all over. You just gotta trust me on this one. So I have heated up some plastic. We're going to go 3 cups on each. Uno, dos, tres. All right, set that to the side. Let's first see how the chartreuse is looking. See if we need to add any more for that as far as pigments, which that was starting to get a little cold. So, and that is why you wear gloves, ladies and gentlemen, right there. You see that? You've had your public service announcement. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to heat these back up a little more, and then we will hit it with the colorants. All right, so we got the chartreuse warmed back up, and I am going to add more. I'm not counting today, sorry, I'm just not. There we go. That brightened it back up. I know it doesn't look like it did, but once you shoot the bait and you see it with the 24 karat in there, it really will shine. So let me heat the next one up and I'll be right back. And we're back, and we are going to add spring green. I know some people would use flow lime, you'd think, but for me, the spring green. Look at that. And then you see those hints of gold in there with it. The reason I use the 24 karat so much of these is because if you look over here by itself, you get golds, oranges, and even little hints of green. So it's just absolutely perfect for Firetiger. I mean, it's almost a given. So now we got that. Let me get the other one heated up and we'll hit the orange up. And this one may be interesting because if you see the bottle sitting over here, it's almost empty. I'm gonna end up draining whatever's left in it, I think. So I need to order some more, I guess. Okay, ready for the orange, or what's left of it. This is Lure Works Firetiger Orange, ironically enough. Yeah, I figured. Hopefully that'll be enough. This stuff is really thin, so you have to use a lot of it to get it to really show. But hopefully that'll be enough. Like I said, we're not counting. And there, you're getting a very bright orange. Again, it may not look like it in the camera, but man, you get this stuff in the sunlight. Do you like my stir stick for the orange? It's a old surgery drill bit. Yeah, it goes through bone and skull, all sorts of fun stuff. The silly thing I miss about working at the hospital is taking home the old expired stuff that they're just going to throw away anyway. Okay, the hardest part is done, and that is getting all three of the colorants to actually have the same temperature. And I'm going to back this up. They might be able to view a little bit, maybe not. In fact, I don't like how this is looking. This is a cause for disaster. Like that. Give it a purge. And I really need a bigger workspace. And you're not in frame. Yeah. Look at that mess. Yeah, thinking this one not gonna work. Let's open the fail first. I just ran out of juice there on that second one. That's all. What? Yep. No good. Not making hollow baits. Let's check the other guy out. That's what we're looking for. Although I'm not too happy with that, but the 3 or 5.6 inch is one of the hardest ones to get a triple inject to work on. I'm going to do a few more of these and we'll take the best of 4. So here's how it's going. We got the pattern laid down, the basics for the Firetiger, so they're just going to need airbrushing. Next up, we're going to move on to the next color, which I am going to do a Perch pattern. So that's next. Here we are again, this time going for the Perch. Now, with my Perch, I do things a little bit different. I do baby bass. There's that damn shadow again. Baby bass. And I am going to go for a very muted yet saturated result is what we're looking for. Yeah, I know I don't have my gloves on right now. And it's making me nervous. So guess what? We're putting the gloves on. Because I do not need any liquid napalm on me. So, let's see. That's looking pretty good. Again, I'm not counting again. It's already stiffening up though. All right, I'm gonna heat that back up, then we'll add the black flake. YouTube magic, we're back. So on this, I'm using the black 0.4 flake. I'm just gonna use a 1/4 teaspoon. Just give it some texture. There's what we're looking at. I'm debating on more saturation, but I think that's going to be good. We won't know until we shoot the first round. Let me heat the second cup up, and we'll start on the belly color. Back again. Now this one, I'm going to use chrome yellow, and this stuff is really, really potent. So I am going to do 2 drops just to start. Stuff almost made a liar out of me. Okay, well, Usually it's a little more potent than that, so I don't know what the deal is. I shook it up really good. That's okay. That puts us at 5. Yeah, there it comes on strong. Not getting the saturation I want just yet. However, I'm debating on dulling the belly out a little bit with a drop of Scuppernong. That stuff's pretty strong too, but let's see if I regret this. I've not used Scuppernong for it before. I usually use just a plain old brown, but got Scuppernong, so why not? Alright, that's looking good. I do want a little more saturation. 2. We'll do 2. I'm going for natural on this, if you can't tell. I'm not doing anything bright, bold, nothing like a Firetiger. I want a natural color, a natural look. All right, now I am going to add a bit of orange, because they do have orange in their belly. I'm only going to do an 1/8 teaspoon, which still surprisingly a lot when you really look at it once the bait's shot. All right, that is going to be our belly. So let me get these two matching temperatures starting to cool off already. I don't know why it's 90 freaking degrees in my garage, because it's the next day from when I made the Firetiger, but it's hot, very humid. So we'll be right back. All right, we got the colors matched in temperature, which let me tell you, 2 is so much easier than 3. I'm actually glad we're on a dual injector instead of the triple again, because that triple injector wears this old man out. And we're already in trouble. Not sure how that first one's going to turn out, because I couldn't get the injector all the way up under the counter. That's something I always encounter when I'm injecting on video, because I try to pull everything as close as I can to the camera, but I have to have it up here for safety. Well, anyway. All right, let's see how our saturation turned out here. Ooh, a little warm still. Should have done the other one first. That was one I had trouble with. That'll be the less ooh-ah. That is a good looking base for a perch. And again, with this mold, okay, with this mold, it is very difficult to get a triple or a dual, because it's not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. There's no way you can fold this at any point to get it to be even. So naturally, the plastic does not want to run even either. So to actually get a dual is really good out of it. To get a triple out of it, you've probably been practicing a while. Not to toot my horn, but I don't think they turn out too bad when I do them. Let's see what this guy looks like. Yeah, I've been doing this actually not very long compared to other people. 5 years, 6 years now I've been doing this. Well, gosh, golly gee willikers. That one actually turned out too. That is going to be a great base. Once we get those black perch stripes in there, she's looking sharp. So I'm going to do a few more of those up. Alrighty, so we have my 4 subjects. These are going to be my perch. I think they turned out exactly what I'm looking for, but I still need to spray a pattern on them. But before I do that, I am going to do the Firetiger pattern, and I think just roughly on what I sketched out, there's so many different patterns to a Firetiger as far as the black stripes that I just kind of make something up. So I'm going to go this route, and I don't have a stencil for it or anything, so I'll be freehanding it, so we'll see how that goes. Also forgot to mention, by the way, I'm going to be just using a straight black SB coat number 3003 through Lureworks. Not affiliated with Lureworks or anybody like that, just what I use. So I will not be talking through the next part because it's probably going to be me sounding like Darth Vader or Bane from Batman, and I will probably have the fans running. Oh, BKB. Firetigers are done. I'm not going to show them to you just yet. They're drying. Patience. Next, we are going to be doing the Perch. Now with the Perch, I will be using a stencil, and I am probably going to be using this one here. The trouble is going to be getting that to line up just right. So what I'll probably end up doing is laying it down. I'm going to look and see where that gill plate is on the bait. I'm going to try and stay as consistent as I can and put it right there. And then if I roll it over, I should be able to get a good spray on that. So, you know what? While I got it sitting there, let me throw this mask on here real quick and we'll see what happens. And hopefully the air compressor doesn't get us again. I apologize about that. That was the biggest pain in the butt. Okay. Let's do this. I'm sorry, you probably can't see that. I really got to work on my camera angles. But I also have to be able to see what the hell I'm doing. All right, let's see. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to touch those lines up a little bit. I'd almost like those lines to come down a little more, so I'm going to touch that up a little bit more too. 'Cause on the perch, that does come into the belly a little more. Okay, I do like that more, but I think I might just use the stencil as a marker as to where to do the stripes. And I'm just going to freehand the stripe from here on out. I may use this as just one of my practice ones. I always pour a couple extras just in case. So I am going to freehand it and see what it looks like. I'll be back to you when they're done. Alrighty, there's our Firetiger all finished up, with the exception of the one thing that's going to bring them to life. We're going to do silver eyes. So for eyes, just use this Loctite Ultra Gel Control. Just a dot on each side. Oh, we got eyeballs flying all over the place. There we have our Firetiger. Let's move on to the Perch. Perch, I am going to do, of course, yellow eyes. In fact, I should probably do the whoop-de-doo reveal, huh? Here we go. There they are. There's my Perch. So, we'll do the same thing here. As I stick eyes to my fingers. Voila. There's what I do for a pattern for Perch. No big secret or anything like that. Just the colors I use, the eyes I use. And no, I'm not specific on the stripes. The best stencil, as we both, everybody saw, just was not working out. It was too small. And I didn't like the way the lines were coming out. And no, they're not perfect triangles. I don't want them to be perfect triangles. I don't want them to be perfectly spaced. I actually like the randomness on this, which is why I do them like this. And this is just freehand. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of them up, and we'll show you the end result. There we go. That is my take on Firetiger and Yellow Perch. Hope you enjoy it. It's just, you know, it's just how I do my pattern. They're nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Again, the stencil just wasn't working out for this guy. Just easier to freehand. And you know, while I was at it, sometimes you get on a roll and golly, you gotta do some 3-inchers up. Come on, he's going. There's gonna be walleye up in this lake with the pike he's after. Yeah, I gotta do something. So that's that's a little bonus I'm throwing in there. Anyway, as usual, don't like, don't subscribe. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. But thanks for watching, and have yourselves a great weekend.